I received a phone call from the principal over at the elementary school, forewarning me, letting me know that I was going to be receiving an email with sexual harassment allegations against my son.
Rosemary Rabidou's 13-year-old son, Braden, is one of the 3 8th-grade Kiel Middle School students accused of sexual harassment, something she disputes.
He said he's being allegedly charged with sexual harassment for not using proper pronouns. I thought it wasn't real. I thought this has got to be a gag, a joke. One has nothing to do with the other.
According to the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, or WILL, now defending the accused students, in March, one of their peers announced the pronouns they prefer to be addressed as, they or them. One of the alleged incidents Braden and the others were supposedly involved in happened in April.
She had been screaming at one of Braden's friends to use proper pronouns, calling him profanity, and this friend is, very soft-spoken and kind of just sunk down into his chair. And Braden finally came up defending him, saying he doesn't have to use proper pronouns. It's his constitutional right to not use. You can't make him say things.
Some might say or think that you or your son are against the LGBTQ plus community.
Not at all. Not at all. My children have been raised to love everybody equally.
Shortly after finding out her son was being investigated, Rosemary reached out to Will.
Title IX sexual harassment typically covers things like rape, dating violence, quid pro quo sexual favors, right? Really egregious stuff. There's nothing even remotely close to that alleged in this case.
Will says the school district's policy doesn't cover the misuse of pronouns, and neither does Title IX.
The charge against students for sexual harassment is an extreme abuse of the Title IX process. It's totally inappropriate and is totally being mishandled by the school district.
Fox 11 reached out to the Kiel School District. It provided us with a statement saying the KASD prohibits all forms of bullying and harassment in accordance with all laws, including Title IX. It goes on to say that it will continue to support all students regardless of sex, including transgender status, change of sex, or gender identity. Will issued a letter to administrators at the Kiel School District to drop the Title IX complaint and investigation against the 3 8th-grade boys. In Kiel, Monique Lopez, Fox 11 News.
Now we're hearing from the parent and attorney who raised the issue. Fox 11's Monique Lopez brings us this follow-up.
We first spoke to Rosemary Rabidou nearly 2 weeks ago about her son Braden and 2 other students being investigated for sexual harassment.
Just telling my story, telling Braden's story, and it's gone national. And I have received support from most states and different countries, and a lot of prayers from people.
But some of the attention Rabidou would soon discover was unwanted. That happened with the first bomb threat Kiel Middle School received Monday. It referred to the ongoing Title IX investigation and complaints the students' parents, along with the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, asked the district to drop.
Our lawyers and us don't support any type of violence. But I feel like if they would have just dropped it, it would have never gone this far.
We haven't heard back yet from the district in response to our letter, but we have been in contact with attorneys for the district, and we expect to hear back sometime this week, hopefully today.
Rabidou says this entire ordeal and now these bomb threats have really taken a toll on her son Braden as well.
Ultimately, the whole thing has him just depressed. He is genuinely a good kid, smart, kind boy. And I wanted to make sure the world knew that.
She says the threats of violence aren't helping.
They're making it worse, and they're terrifying this community that's already in turmoil because of the situation.
In Kiel, Monique Lopez, Fox 11 News.
The city of Kiel canceled its Memorial Day parade after 4 bomb threats were made to the city's middle school.
Yeah, but today that didn't stop some from paying tribute. Fox 11's Lexi Schrader has more.
Dave Shizzle is a veteran from Kiel. Nothing was going to stop him from gathering with others in the community for a march to honor those who have served our country. Not even the city's decision to cancel the Memorial Day parade.
The reason why I'm here is to support those that have come before us and to honor them.
Many residents say they're frustrated with the city's decision to cancel.
I'm not about to let some political antic keep us from celebrating what they have done.
City officials decided to cancel the Memorial Day parade due to 4 bomb threats made towards Kiel Middle School.
Cooler heads need to prevail. They need to take a step back. Everybody has a right to their opinion, but they don't have a right to be a domestic terrorist.
The middle school has been at the center of a controversy for more than 2 weeks after an investigation was launched into students allegedly using non-preferred gender pronouns to refer to another student. According to police, the threats have specifically referred to that investigation.
I am discouraged by the fact that they are disciplining these kids that may or may not have said anything wrong. A person changing something about themselves, I'm okay with that, but to make other people change the way we believe is kind of weird to me.
The march started at a local tavern and made its way through downtown to Veterans Park. Event organizer Jeanette Duchesne says she created the event to bring the community together.
This is the one holiday parade that I don't think should be canceled. Our veterans have thrown themselves into, the line of fire, and we need to stand up against the threats.
The march concluded with a moment of silence for the troops no longer with us. In Kiel, Lexi Schrader, Fox 11 News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 9. The Kiel Police Department had been receiving threats referencing the school district's Title IX investigation into 3 middle school students. Now, those students were accused of sexual harassment for using non-preferred pronouns when addressing another student.
As a result of those ongoing threats, the district closed its investigation. Fox 11's Monique Lopez spoke to one of the mothers of the students accused to get her reaction to this news.
Rose Rabidou's son, Braden, was one of the 3 students being investigated. She says although the district closed its investigation and the students weren't disciplined, she doesn't know if that means the sexual harassment allegation will follow Braden for the rest of his life.
There's been no communication as far as what closed means. There's been no communication as far as if it has been removed from their records.
Fox 11 reached out to the Kiel School District Friday to ask about that specifically. We still have not heard back.
We will follow up about that, but hopefully they will confirm that there is nothing permanent on their records, and then this will be done.
What's more, Rabidou says this entire ordeal has scarred Braden and has left him depressed. Rabidou and the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty initially raised the issue of the Title IX investigation against the students weeks ago. They sent a letter to the district asking for the complaint to be dropped immediately.
We wish they would have dismissed it right away. That could and should have happened. I don't know why they took 2 weeks to dismiss it, but we're glad that they finally did.
Shortly after our initial story aired, the threats against the school district began. The 6th threat that was sent to Kiel police last Wednesday warned that if the district didn't drop the Title IX complaint by Friday, multiple locations would be targeted.
That was the 6th one. And so if it was truly about the bomb threats, it would have been dropped way back when. We never wanted that brought to the community. But unfortunately, it was, and we felt that the district was actually blaming us for the bomb threats.
The district sent out the release informing that the matter was closed on Thursday. In it, they said they issued clear directives and expectations to all students involved in this matter.
We were contacted in the middle of the night with letters that mean nothing.
Rabidou says even though the investigation has come to an end, that's still not enough.
I believe it's acceptable that they closed it because then it is over, but we had asked for it to be dropped. And so our frustration is the fact that it was not dropped and there wasn't a public apology made to our children.
In Kiel, Monique Lopez, Fox 11 News.